Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ramon Korionov. That's R-A-M-O-N, last name Korionov, K-O-R-I-O-N-O-F-F. I'm the Public Affairs Director for the Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office. Today there was a resolution in the Reluzco matter. To talk to you today will be Mr. Rich Leotta and his family. Chief Manager is here but is refraining from making remarks, and Mr. McCarthy will be sending out a press release shortly with his comments for today. So I know you're on tight deadline. Without further ado, Mr. Leotta.
Well, I know most of you know me. I'm Rich Leotta, Noah's father. And as many of you have seen before, sometimes I'm not short with my words, but this time I have to be because we still have to go to sentencing. So I have to be a little bit guarded in how we present whatever I say. But as from when I was here last in this same location, it's not a surprise that we're here. I mean, this is what I said would happen. Most likely that he would plea to a guilty plea and we would be at this juncture and we will go into sentencing. So that's exactly where we are. From our standpoint, that he has taken a guilty plea. First of all, I don't think he had much of a choice. If anybody was in that courtroom, you heard the case against him, which was extremely compelling. So he didn't have much of a choice because the outcome would have been the same if he had pled guilty or gone to trial. So from our standpoint, not having to go to trial alleviates some of that pain and suffering of going through all the details that we had a synopsized version of today. So that's what it does. But the pain of suffering of losing our son doesn't change, no matter what happens today or any other day. We've still lost our son, and he's not coming back to us no matter what we do. So that's what today was at least beneficial in that we don't have that situation facing us, and we only have the sentencing. But tomorrow is going to be a better day. Tomorrow we're going to be in Annapolis, and the governor's going to be signing Noah's Law. And there I will talk as much as you'd like. It will be a much more positive event, and my family will be there with me. The chief and many others that have made this happen, and deservingly so. MAD is here with us today, supporting us, and have been with us all the way through Noah's Law. So tomorrow is going to be a good capstone to everything we've been through, with all the memorial services that we've had over the past 2 weeks, honoring fallen heroes, all the men and women in blue that lost their lives last year. And now it's a good capstone that we've got something positive from such a terrible tragedy. So tomorrow morning at 10:30, the governor will be signing the bill, and we will have Noah's Law. More work to be done with the administration and implementation, but I think we've over the big hurdle associated with fighting Annapolis. Thank you.
To be in that courtroom with him, and I guess you were before, but to be there and to listen to him admit that he didn't even realize he had hit your son, didn't realize that he hit anybody, and to admit that he never even hit the brakes, what does that do?
Well, for me, I had already understood that because it was I've read all the written documentation, so I was prepared for that. So for me, I've already dealt with that emotionally, and I was prepared for that answer, and hearing that and understanding that. It doesn't, whatever he says, to be honest, no matter what happens, the result for me is still the same. Noah is gone and will never come back to me. Noah, though, is with me in spirit and will always be with me and my family and the community. And that's what's important. What happened was a terrible, terrible thing. It wasn't an accident. An accident is something that can't be prevented. This could have been prevented and the outcome is totally predictable, and that's why we have battled for Noah's Law. So we will prevent that type of situation ever happening again to other families. That I'll discuss at that time. And I do have some thoughts on that, but I kind of cannot get into that at this point because of the limitations that associated with court proceedings.
Does it bring the family any comfort knowing that there's people supportive of that, as the attorney just said, supportive of Noah's Law? Does that do it?
My opinion on remorsefulness hasn't changed from when I was here before. And my opinion is no, I don't believe it. There's situations clearly of why people do certain things at certain times. And the remorse, it has nothing to do with it. That's not a fact, it's just what is said and done for certain reasons. And so my opinion on that doesn't change.
What kind of symbolism does it mean to you to have this today and have the bill signing the next day?
It is a big symbolism. From something that was tragic, and you could look at it as from a standpoint of that you could have gone and curled up and gone away and just left with the tragedy. But instead, we took that tragedy and turned it into something positive. And actually, Noah's Law has helped me and my family channel our grief into something positive. When I was at Police Week, the last thing that one of our guest speakers, who was a motivational speaker, said to all the families of the fallen officers, find something positive. Find that legacy for your loved one that you've lost. We were given that gift to find that right away, to find that legacy that Noah will have tomorrow and forever, and Noah Leotta will always be on patrol.
What do you do? What's the I mean, it's great victory tomorrow, but you keep fighting. I mean, do you keep fighting for more
absolutely.
tougher laws and whatever else you can do to reduce the number of drunk drivers?
Absolutely. This doesn't end with tomorrow. First of all, I know I've been talking to representatives from MAD associated with the implementation and administration of the law. I've been talking to the governor's office, trying to set up some meetings so we can work that and make sure that the law is not just a paper tiger, but a real tiger. And that's what we need to do now. So yeah, the in front of the cameras may have changed and that won't be there, but the behind the camera is still, you have to be active to make sure that when this gets implemented on October 1st, that it's the best law that we have and the most effective law that we have so we can save lives and make the difference that we want it to do. So that's what I'm going to be doing, as well as many other things. As you know, the foundation, the papers have been sent in to the IRS to make that foundation become a reality. That will be out there also, that we will be working to educate people against drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. And any other laws associated with drunk driving that we can enhance and make more effective, I'll be out there for the rest of my life making sure that that happens.
Mr. Leotta, was this the first day you actually saw Louis Reluzco in person, or had there been a previous court hearing?
This was the first time. This was the first time. I was preparing for it. I didn't look at him much because I didn't, there's no vengefulness. I can't get my son back. But there needs to be appropriate punishments for the crimes that people commit. And that's it. So, no, I didn't look at him in that way. People think, oh, are you staring at somebody? No. Matter of fact, I didn't look at him much. That's not the point. The point is that you had a crime committed and there needs to be punishments for the crimes committed. And that's what we have. These are done as deterrents. So when the next time people think about it, and they may not do the same thing. My son doesn't come back to me no matter what we do, no matter how things go. But I know that I can pay it forward with Noah's Law. And so to me, that's the biggest thing. I can pay it forward and make sure that we save lives, a celebration of saving lives, futures. Noah, I can't get back. But his legacy is going to be and will always be saving lives, as he did when he was on the force and is doing from heaven now.
All right.
All right?
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Leotta.
Thank you.